Thank you very much, my dear. How are you, Lashana?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know what? It's one of those days. I'm tired, really tired, but I
Yeah,
cannot complain. And
good one.
I'm sure you're feeling the same doing all these conversations and junkets. What's it like? How are you feeling?
Give you energy.
Okay.
I'm giving everyone energy during this time because we're all going through a different version of the same thing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm going through it as an actor, you as a journalist. We've got crew here who are, working tirelessly to make sure everything runs perfectly. We got COVID protocols. It's all happening. But like, we're all tired and we're all just
Literally.
waiting to celebrate a moment, and we will. And
And
we
we
will.
will. And we will. But on that note, the positivity that you're sending out means that you're absolutely fine. You're
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's it? I, I'm looking at you and your journey. I'm like, you must be pinching yourself. Like, what the hell is going on? You're in Marvel, and now you're in the James Bond franchise. What's it like being a part of these kind of iconic legacy filled franchises?
Well, I've got to be frank. I'm not pinching myself.
You know, okay, okay.
All right. Because like we work so hard for
Mm,
an opportunity that when the opportunities keep coming, you got to just feel ready. Do you know what I mean? And I with Marvel I manifested that. I'd auditioned for about 4 or 5 years for the for the franchise. So it wasn't like, yes, it was like, wow, I got in the part, oh my gosh, and screaming, all the celebration. But
mm,
I was ready for it because I really wanted it. Now another franchise has come. I absolutely did not foresee two franchises within a few years of each other. That is incredible and remarkable and all the wonderful things. But I'm just seeing it as me, the individual, doing something that we, the culture, need.
mm.
And if I keep on that track, then I think we will no longer all be the individual. We'll all be one microorganism moving together
Mm.
to move forward in industries that have underrepresented us or misrepresented us.
Yeah,
So that's what's happening here, I think.
I hear that. I mean, what I'm pinching for you, and it's actually not to undermine the fact that, like you said, you work hard to get the roles and get the jobs and all this type of stuff in this, especially in this climate, whatever world we're in, and how they're adjusting to the fact that one narrative isn't the only narrative, and then other people can join stories and enhance them rather than have people scared of seeing change and stuff like that. But it is also inspiring and exciting for those of us who are either celebrating, reporting, part of it, that one of us is doing big things, as it were.
Yeah, yeah. I try and stay as present as
I get you.
possible to that, whilst obviously trying to protect my energy, because whether it's elation or absolute denial that this is happening, of
Yeah.
denial that this Black woman is positioned in this way, both of them are massive energies, massive
Yeah.
forces that you your one self has to deal with. And maybe it's that I think I'm being completely present, but I'm not being present to everything. I'm just being present to being calm, which works for me right now, you know? I'd rather be inside when it's raining outside
You
because
know,
it's safer there.
I
So,
what you're saying is so on point, because I think even when people talk to me about the things that I'm doing, I'm just like, no, no, don't do this because I don't want to get gassed. This is me. I don't want to get over
yeah,
gassed and start
yeah,
walking down the street like, I don't know you. Who are you? What's this? I'm the grande madame. But and it is managing those energies because you want to celebrate yourself, obviously, but
yes,
also keeping a check on reality, what it is, and all that type of stuff. So,
yeah.
this may be a redundant question.
Hmm.
However, what made you say yes to this role? Because obviously, I know it's James Bond, who would say no, but someone would have said no. So, what was it that made you say yes?
Good question. My final audition was with Daniel, Cary, and Barbara.
Mm.
And there was just an energy in the room that made me feel like there was so much they weren't telling me, yet so much I really couldn't wait to learn. And in the moment, I didn't want anyone else to learn those details. I wanted to be the one in the room to have that first conversation with the creatives about this new character that's come in, that's going to shake things up. And she's, you know, I wanted to be positioned there. And also just going back on like your experiences and, you know, us just knowing we deserve things, our self-worth being up. I thought I've worked hard enough to be able to do a standalone scene in a film like this. I could handle this. It'll be fine. I really convinced myself of that. But the energy was good. I think you know when you know, and you know when you don't know. And with this, I absolutely knew. I knew I was going to get the part maybe the day before I got it. I knew that it was going to be challenging, and it absolutely was. But I also knew that there was something special about where they were in the franchise right now, that my entrance into it was timely. It couldn't have been before now, and it couldn't have been in years to come. It's right this second, and I didn't want to pass that.
I mean, that feeling when you feel it and you know, like, this is all mine. However, you had worked with Barbara on Ear for Eye before, right? And so I read that, you know, she was like, nah, this one's someone special. So what do you think from that last audition? Obviously, you had that kind of chemistry with Daniel and others, but then, and Cary, obviously, but then what do you think Barbara saw in you? And what do you think they saw in you that made them say, yeah, this is the one, this is the chick we need?
I spoke to Barbara in my trailer, I want to say a month before we wrapped. And we were just chatting about just nothing. And she said, you know, when I saw you in Ear for Eye and you were giving this white guy a run for his money, I knew that that's the kind of dynamic that we wanted in No Time to Die. And I thought, wow, there was reliving trauma on the Royal Court stage. Having this huge producer watch me and think, gosh, we could use that in a film that is possibly going to change the world. That's amazing. It really kind of passed me by in the moment because I was just listening to her going, yeah, great, okay, that sounds amazing. And then she left my trailer and I was like, what? She saw what when I was going through what? It was mad. But along with that moment, just knowing I had a woman in my corner in the producers area, I had a woman in my corner in the writers area, I had other women who I was sharing the screen with who just made me feel really proud to even be in this industry, who were giving me so much on set as well. It all balanced out. It all balanced out completely. But yeah, Barbara's words really, they're the kind that I want to write, print, and put on my wall.
I mean, fair dues, and she's a formidable woman and in a space that's dominated by men. So she's already iconic. And the fact that she saw something in you, and it is that thing where you just don't know, you could be doing a bit part and might have said one line, but that was the thing that hit with someone that then can spark the, you know, chain reaction to you moving into another space. And that's amazing. I think that's a real testament for people who are trying to get into the industry and understand that.
Yeah, and it's important to really listen to your gut and really really stay so aligned that whatever comes to you is actually for you, and you know it when you feel it. So I was shooting Captain Marvel, I believe, when Debbie Tucker Green emailed me Ear for Eye, and I was like, it's never going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to go. I can't be in two places at once. And then I got something else after Captain Marvel. So I shot 2 weeks of that, went home, flew home on the Sunday, had a night's sleep, had a meeting with Debbie, flew back to the States, did the rest of the shoot, flew back to England, landed on the Monday morning, got home, dropped my bags, showered, and then went straight to the Royal Court or wherever we were rehearsing.
Okay.
Started for Eye, a week later than everyone else. And I was like, that's how you know I was meant to be a part of Ear for Eye, because there were so many things in my way, so many things that would never ever work on another play or another theatre, another director, that just happened. And now it's attached to one of the biggest opportunities in my life forever. So,
I mean, all the blessings, all the love for that. And you know what? I think I was reading that what am I going to say? Yeah, this whole thing about you joining to challenge Bond a little bit, I think it's very parallel. Naomie's come in with the wit, the youth, the kind of banter, challenging Bond for he's old, mature, and like he's past it essentially for me looking in. But I think that's quite kind of metaphorical for the real situation here. You're coming in, meeting Daniel Craig, you're challenging him at his game in this space. What was it like? And working with him, I mean, obviously, like I know it's it's good working with him, but what was that like? Introducing Naomie to an iconic character who has got that favorite fan global, I don't know, adoration, and then you're coming in to challenge him and tease him about who the hell he is.
I think because in this film you actually, since Daniel has joined this franchise, you've learned so many different strands of who he is, what he represents, where his trauma lies, how he handles his trauma, how he loves, how he shuts off his emotions. And this was, I think, just another string to that bow. We've gotten to know him as one thing or a few things, but now there's this new pressure that he has as someone who has classic ways of handling guns, classic ways of handling M, and she's got a different relationship, completely different relationship with all these things that he knows like the back of his hand. And she's flexing so easily. She doesn't even have to break a sweat when communicating with him. Or when walking around MI6, she doesn't have to flaunt. She doesn't have to do what he does.
Yeah.
And it sometimes works better. I think that's such an interesting dynamic to have on screen, but also really nice for Daniel's Bond to experience that while he's there.
Yeah.
I think it was quite genius, actually.
Was there any pressure for yourself as a woman in action to push that bit further? Because I mean, obviously you've got experience doing Marvel action. Now you're doing this type of action. And I'm assuming I wanted to know what the comparisons were, which was more challenging. But is there any pressure to do like go harder because you're a woman, because it's in a male dominated space and like women can't fight and can't hold guns? And I'm just thinking of young actors actresses who are interested in being action heroes. Was there any pressure to kind of prove more, or are you all right to say, look, this is too much, without feeling the weight of, oh my God, if I say this, I'm a woman, and they might say, I can't handle myself in this space?
I might give a multifaceted answer here, but
that's fine. I give big, long questions.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's good. There is a danger of being an agent in charge. Highly competent, highly skilled, knows everything, learns quick on their feet. It's just perfect in every way. It's so shiny that for me, it's unrealistic for someone like Naomie.
Sure.
She needed to have an essence that either made you feel uncomfortable with her presence, or she was uncomfortable with herself because she absolutely cannot believe that she's even positioned in this way in MI6. And I think adding that to her being a massive agent made her more human.
Okay.
And I think if we didn't humanize her, that would have sent out the wrong message to young people.
Okay.
You can fight and still finish the fight and go, thank God I'm still alive.
And look beautiful and everything and perfect. And
yeah. Look beautiful and perfect, of course, in the cinema. But internally, you're wondering if I have enough breath, enough fight in me to continue this thing. And I'm hoping that there are moments in that young people can learn from when watching this movie, in seeing that she is just doing a balancing act, like all Black women do in the workplace.
Sure.
She's trying to strive for excellence, yet not trying to be that one excellent Black person in the office.
I hear you. And that was succinct and perfect.
Thank God.
So on that note, there was a little bit of fluster when people thought that you were the new James Bond, and then that leads to that old annoying, I find it annoying, debate about James Bond being Black or a woman or not the package that we're used to. So what are your thoughts? Could you be James Bond? Would it be a role that you'd take on anyway, just as even as a fantasy idea, would it be something you take on? Do you think it's okay to change him up? I don't know.
I think it's great to position a new character in a standalone franchise. I think replacement puts on a pressure for a community that already are under pressure to rise up to the challenge. There would be so much scrutiny for there being a young 15-year-old James Bond. Can a teenager really take this on? You know, we don't want to have to side-eye someone for taking an opportunity before they've even had a chance to execute the job.
Yeah.
So, having said that, we're moving into times whereby we're trying to represent as many cultures, as many groups of people as possible. And I think anything is possible. I have not been told I'm doing another film, so everyone needs to stop getting so excited. I don't know what's happening in the future, guys. but who knows? Barbara's a genius, so I'm sure she's got it all handled.
And you, my love, are a genius too. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Very proud of you. And I'm excited to see you in this new role. And that's excited to see too. And just, yeah, man, I'm loving, I'm championing you from the sidelines, man. Well done.
Thank you.